Welcome to the Mixed Reception Podcast. I'm your host, Barrett, and today he's back. Jeff Beaulieu. He's been on like 17 of these things.
I'm back again. Welcome to the Suck Zone, baby.
We're doing an awesome movie today. This is a guilty pleasure of mine, Twister. Jeff, tell us what Twister is about.
Oh, Twister is about like 2 days of all tornadoes, basically.
I think it's a day. I think it takes place in 24 hours.
I thought they slept
it is 2 days. They slept, yeah, you're right. They slept in a hotel.
Did they make it through the motel night, though?
Well, they were interrupted by a Twister.
So I think it's over 24or hours, less than 48.
Yes, 36, we'll say.
We'll say 36 hours of like 60 tornadoes within like a 3-mile radius. It's God, it's a crazy movie. My first experience with this movie was me going on, I guess it's not called a ride, but kind of like an adventure walkthrough at Universal Studios.
Really?
Yeah, they had Twister, like the walkthrough.
I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah. So I was like probably 10 when I went to that. And you walk through this whole thing of like, you know, the line going through it is all these like houses that are destroyed and stuff like that.
Whoa.
And then at the end you go and you stand kind of like at the movie theater scene.
Okay.
And you kind of just stand there and you're looking at this big set, and then like all of a sudden it starts to rain and like rain's pouring down over everyone.
Like real rain? Like someone just got a hose and was just getting people wet?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's Universal Studios, so I don't think it's some like teenager with a hose. But yeah, like rain's coming down from the ceiling, then there's lightning that strikes things and things blow up, tornadoes come in, and then a cow flies across.
I was about to say, was there a cow? Okay,
yes, good. Cows fly
so it just
around.
goes through the movie, pretty much.
Yeah, it just does like all the tropes in the movie, basically.
Okay, now
like a 6-minute thing.
In the ride, is there a suck zone?
No one mentions the suck zone in the ride, not that I remember. As a 10-year-old boy, I feel like I would have remembered if anyone said suck zone during the ride.
Oh man!
But since then, I was like, that ride's cool. Never really cared about watching the movie ever. I always thought it was like just like a old horror movie. I didn't realize it came out in the 90s.
96. This is actually the 25th anniversary.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So I saw it for the first time over the pandemic.
It's a good pandemic movie.
Oh, yeah, I was just like, I'll check this out. I was glued to the screen the whole time. This movie's fucking awesome.
Well, I saw this. So I was 6 when this came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually saw this in theaters. I want to say like opening day. Like my mom,
you were 6?
My mom took me to see this, and she really like literally put me in the car. I didn't even know what we were seeing, and and then I saw Twister.
It's a weird choice for a 6-year-old.
I don't think so. I mean,
Twister? Did she want you to be terrified of tornadoes your entire life?
No, I don't know. Kids can watch this.
I mean, it's PG-13 and you were 6.
I watched a lot of like.
They say the suck zone in it.
Well, I didn't really. That went over my head as a kid. Yeah, I saw this in theaters and I loved it. And then I think I had it on VHS.
Right.
It was on HBO a lot. I have a ton of nostalgia for this movie. And
yeah, I can see why. I feel like I do too. When I saw it for the first time like 7 months ago.
I remember 7 months ago.
The good old times in the middle of the
pandemic. But this movie, it kind of started the whole resurgence of like disaster movies, because like in the 70s there was a ton of disaster movies. Like,
oh really? Oh,
in the 70s, disaster
Apocalypse
movies.
Now.
Well, that's a war movie.
Oh shit! I thought that was like some zombie movie.
That's the Francis Ford Coppola Vietnam movie.
Oh, I should see it.
It's really good.
Okay, that's the only disaster movie I know.
It sounds like it would be a disaster movie, but no, you had things like Earthquake, the airport movies.
Airport movies.
Okay, the airport movies were
talking about Airplane.
Okay, Airplane spoofed those movies.
Oh no! Shit.
So there's a series. There was like 4 of these movies. It was a series. It was like Airport, and this is like back when instead of like Airport 2, Airport 3, they would just it would be like Airport 75. It would be like the airport and then the year.
Okay.
So like Airport 75, Airport 77, Airport 79. That was the Concorde. And then
Nice.
so you had those movies were big, and then
What happened in those? Was it just plane crashes?
Oh, dude. So okay, well, little side tangent. Okay, so the first one is a guy sets off a bomb in an airplane because he wants to collect insurance money for his family.
Okay.
And then the second one has Charleston Heston in it, and he there's some guy has a heart attack. He's like in this like little like a tiny plane,
Okay.
like a one-person plane, and he has a heart attack and he runs directly into this like jumbo jet with like people
In
on
air?
it in midair. So they have to like get a helicopter up there and get Charleston Heston into the cockpit to fly the plane because the pilot died. And then the second one,
Wait, we got a helicopter.
we gotta watch. We should fucking watch these movies.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
Great.
And then the third one is the airplane fall. It's like goes over the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh shit!
And then it goes into the water, so it's like underwater, and they have to rescue them.
Okay.
And the fourth one, I don't fucking know what happens in that one.
9/11.
No, that was World Trade Center with Nicolas Cage.
Wait, is that real?
That's a movie too.
Jesus Christ.
Also, it's ironic because Jeff's been on probably the most of these, and he's seen the least movies, the least movies out of anyone I know. But yeah, you had stuff like that. You had the Poseidon Adventure. Have you ever seen that one?
Yes, with the ship that flips over.
Yes. So they did a remake in 2006, which sucks, but like
I've seen both of them.
The original one's actually really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, disaster movies were huge in the 70s, and then they kind of went away, and Airplane kind of spoofed all the disaster movies, specifically the airport movies. But yeah, after that, disaster movies kind of went away for a while, and I feel like
Twister.
Twister.
Think it was because of the Cold War, and like everyone wanted movies that didn't make them think of like a nuke will drop on us at any minute.
I don't know.
I feel. I mean, that's the timeline adds up, right?
Maybe. I think you know what? I think Airplane just like was so awesome and so popular, and it just made fun of all of these movies, and people realized how dumb they were. Yeah. And I think just like anything else, you know, I think they got old.
Right.
But Twister, I feel like this was 96. Independence Day came out the same year, and that's kind of a sci-fi movie. That's kind of a disaster movie too. And then you had stuff like Volcano, Dante's Peak, Deep Impact, Armageddon, and it kind of still, and it went into the 2000s. You had stuff like Perfect Storm.
Perfect Storm. Yes.
I'm gonna throw Vertical Limit in there. That's kind of a disaster movie. That's like they're on K2 and there's like an avalanche and they have to rescue them.
Ooh, I've been listening to a podcast about like a real thing that happened on K2 where there's avalanches and like 17 people died.
That's kind of what
this might be about that real story.
I think that movie was probably based a little bit on that movie.
But that happened in 2008. When did this movie come out?
Oh, Vertical Limit came out in 2000.
Oh shit!
Never mind.
Are we 2018?
Then it's like Day After Tomorrow, 2012. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. But
mostly bad movies.
Well, they are. That's the thing. They're enjoyably bad movies,
right?
And they're also tropey and cheesy and schmaltzy, and every one of these damn movies, the fucking dog somehow miraculously makes it.
Yeah, everyone's always worried about the dogs.
I mean, that's how this movie starts.
Well, I think a lot of like directors have realized that like people like dogs more than people. So like it's sadder to see a dog die in a movie than it is a person because you're like, yeah, people suck. The dogs are cool.
Well, have you ever seen Independence Day?
No.
Like New York City, all these cities just get decimated.
Right.
But there's one part in the movie where this dog, like he somehow makes it into like this like, I don't know, some place, some safe spot.
Yeah. And
just somehow miraculously lives. And then
I Am Legend does the opposite. He kills his own dog.
That's true. That's kind of like a sci-fi vampire thing. That's a weird movie.
Yeah, it's kind of an aftermath of a disaster film.
Yeah, true. But
not quite.
I love disaster movies. I mean,
I think I do too. I don't think I've seen many. I've seen all the Sharknadoes.
That's kind of a disaster movie.
Yeah, they're horrible, but very fun to watch.
It's Jaws meets Twister.
Yeah, and that's all it is.
But yeah, I mean, let's get into it. I mean, this movie I love it, but man, it is so nothing makes sense. Everything is so cheesy.
Just like
let's start with the opening scene. Like, there's a tornado coming. It takes place in '69. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Helen Hunt, Joe, when she was younger, and there's like a tornado coming, and then they like go into like the the little underground like tornado shelter.
Yeah, a little shelter.
And then like the door isn't strong enough, and the dad's holding it, and then he gets sucked out. But
everyone else who's in that tiny little room has like the slightest wind through their hair. Even the little tiny dog that has to weigh like less than 10 pounds is just standing by itself in the room, not being sucked out. Like, if the dad just would have stayed off of the door, he would have been fine.
Yeah. Well, oh my God, they do a close-up of the dog. Like, they show the mom, she's horrified. They show the little girl, and then there's like the dog's like,
like, I'm sure they're just holding a treat in front of it, like on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, like a lot of odd shit like that. Like,
no, the gravity and like physics in this world of Twister make no fucking sense.
There's so many points in this movie, and we're gonna be jumping all around here, but like, there's one part where they're like, the whole movie is like, okay, it's a bunch of bullshit. They have this, I guess they call it the Dorothy. They're storm chasers, right. And they make this machine where you have to set this cylinder into the storm path or the suck zone. And it's supposed to suck out all these little like spheres, and they like go into the funnel and take readings.
Yeah, they like go into the inside of a tornado because no one's ever been able to go inside of a tornado.
And I guess the whole point would be to like create a better warning system, because they make a point like, well, they can only predict 3 minutes out, and if we do this right, we could get 15 minutes out.
Right.
But there's another point in the movie where it's like, hey, Philip Seymour Hoffman's like, hey, I caught wind of the pun intended. Caught wind of a F5. You want to go get it? And it's like they're traveling like what seems like hours to get to this tornado.
There's no way that if there's only 3 minutes warning before they know a tornado is coming, and there's 20 tornadoes within 24 hours, and they get to all of them, it tells me that like there's this very small area that all these tornadoes are going down. And I just don't believe tornadoes work that way. I don't know that much about tornadoes.
I didn't bother to look that much into the science of this. Oh my God. Like but yeah, so I'm pretty sure that whole thing's bullshit. With the Dorothy, like the little sensor things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It makes no sense that releasing balls into a Twister would tell you anything different. Like, it's just.
It doesn't even really go into like what like the balls do.
No, towards the end, when they finally get them in the Twister, it just shows them looking at a bunch of graphs and numbers, and they're all just celebrating.
Oh my God, we're already getting readings.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, we could learn more in 30 seconds than we have in 30 years.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Gravity and physics and time are three things that like the director did not give a shit about.
Well, there's that one scene like where they're like, okay, so they're trying to chase this tornado, and then this is one of many scenes, but literally they pump the brakes, they're in the middle of the road, and then the two twins, the sisters,
and
this is like a solid F3.
I think it's two solid F2s.
Okay,
because there's two tornadoes. There's actually three in one of the shots. But there's two they call sisters because they're like revolving.
Yeah, I noticed that too. In one shot, like there's like three.
Yeah,
but then that tornado mysteriously disappears, and then there's just two.
Yeah, they only mentioned the sisters and the two tornadoes, But then there's clearly a third tornado in one of the shots that they just...
And then Bill Paxton's like, we got sisters. And then it just like spins the truck around.
Oh, they're also on a road that is in the middle, like the thinnest road you can imagine, that is in the middle of two bodies of water. So like, if they went a little off the road either way, their car would end up in the water. And two tornadoes are swirling around the car.
The tornadoes go through the car, pretty much. It just spins them around and they're fine.
Yeah, they spun around for a couple minutes, but they ended up in the same exact spot. They didn't move an inch to the left or right, go in the water at all. They just had like a little spinny ride for a little while.
And then the first tornado that we see them chase, like they're driving in a ditch, and you're making a point like, well, why is he like driving on the bank? That was dumb.
Yeah. It was like a ditch through a field, and the ditch was clearly wide enough for a truck to go down it. And he's just like, for no reason but to like be more exciting or be a horrible driver, it was just like up the left bank, down, up the right bank.
Yeah.
Like, almost flipping the car.
But then they run into a bridge, but then they hide under the bridge, and then like somehow it picks up the truck, but not them or the bridge.
Well, it also rips all of the like planks off the bridge, but somehow, they are very dense, heavy people. I've realized.
Yeah, there's just shit like that makes no sense.
I mean, should we just try to go through all the tornadoes?
Okay, yeah. So the first tornado is the bridge one.
The first tornado.
Well, the very first tornado is the beginning. Daddy dies. Daddy tries to hold.
Daddy gets sucked off.
Why did he think he could hold that?
I don't know. He was an idiot who deserved to die. I mean, come on. How long has he been living in fucking Arizona? Or not
this
Arizona,
is
Oklahoma?
Kansas or Oklahoma?
That area is the tornado area alley. But how long has he been living here for him to not to not do that?
But if he would have just stayed back. Because the mom and the daughter just hang on to like the walls and they're fine.
Right, yeah. They didn't even hang on to the walls. They're just like...
It was kind of cool when he got sucked out.
It was cool. It's an iconic scene.
Yeah, very iconic.
Second tornado is the one where right after, before that tornado, we have how the characters all kind of meet up again.
Okay, so we got to address this.
Yeah.
So throw physics out the window. But this is the most baffling, like... Basically, Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt used to be married. Okay, so Joe and Bill Paxton's name's Bill in this movie. How convenient. And then
that's how bad of an actor he is. They're like, let's just name him Bill. He keeps forgetting his name.
So what kicks this whole fucking movie off is he used to be a storm chaser with Helen Hunt and like
whole crew.
And this whole crew, and all these characters are fuking annoying. Well, we'll get to Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, there's 50 people in this crew for some reason.
Yeah, and there really only need to be like 4.
Yeah.
We were talking about this. Like, I don't even know what half of them do.
No, they don't introduce themselves.
You have like I don't even know any of their names. I just know Joe and Bill
and Dusty.
And it's Dusty Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was just like, it's Philip Seymour Hoffman. But, yeah. I guess you have a computer guy, and then you have, like, a camera person, and then, like, the map person. So you really only need, like, a team of, like...
Yeah, and then you have, like...
And then Helen Hunt leads them. But then there's, like 10 people.
Yeah, there's so many people, like 7 cars.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
But, yeah, so Bill Paxton, he is... they're separated... He's with this other woman now who's just like this kind of conservative Southern belle.
She reminds me of, like someone who came out of like Steel Magnolias.
Yes. Like,
and she kind of looks like, what's her name?
Oh, Dolly Parton?
No. She was also
Julie
in Miss
Roberts?
Doubtfire. Yeah.
No, Sally Fields.
Sally Fields. She kind of looks like a low-rent Sally Field.
But yeah, so he has to get these divorce papers signed because fucking Helen Hunt, she just hasn't had time to sign them.
She already has them.
She has them, but he needs to collect them.
Yeah. He's tired of waiting.
And I made this point. I don't know. They're getting weather reports all the time. I mean, faxes were a thing in '96?
He found them in the middle of a random desert.
How did he find them?
No clue. He can find them, but he can't get her to.
I didn't even think about that. I don't know. Could some paperwork have been faxed? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, it's '96.
Faxes were a thing, right?
Sally Field ripoff. fucking had a cell phone. They definitely had faxes.
Yeah, so he brings his fiance along to go visit his ex-wife to get the divorce papers signed.
Right.
And and then he leaves her alone he talks with her, and then he leaves her alone with Dusty
who explains what the suck zone
Oh my God. Yeah. Like next time we see her, he's like really close to her face. He's like, it's like when you get really close to the tornado, it's the suck zone.
You feel it sucking you. It's
And
the suck zone.
And Dusty is so trying to fuck this.
Oh yeah, he's kind of an aloof, but he also is horny for her.
Yeah, and Bill Paxton does not care.
He doesn't really care about anything. I think he's a really bad actor. I think everyone in this movie was pretty good actors.
I love Bill Paxton.
He's monotone, like unreactionary fuck.
I like Bill Paxton. I thought he's great.
I couldn't imagine someone else doing it, but like.
Well, when we get into trivia, I have some names.
Oh goody! I bet they're better.
Actually, they are. But yeah. Basically, she's like, "Oh well, I can't sign these right now. We gotta go on a tornado."
Oh yeah, a tornado reading comes up while they're having this conversation, and then that's when she also reveals, "Hey, we made Dorothy."
Oh yeah, they
because that was an invention that was never actually created.
They designed this this invention that like what we said can read tornadoes and
throw balls into the air.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, because of that tornado, they all rush into their car.
And then Bill Paxton's like, all right, well, we're leaving. Oh, no, I didn't get the divorce papers.
Oh, we got to chase after her.
So he has to chase after her.
So he just becomes part of this storm chase.
Yeah.
Just put his new fiance in the car.
Fucking fiance, he brings her along. This poor fucking lady.
There's from like, I assume they're from like Chicago or New York, somewhere where there's no fucking tornadoes. Like she is not from this area. She's never experienced a twister in her life.
And also he's done with the tornado chasing business. He's
a weatherman now.
Well, he's going to be a weatherman. And every time someone brings up a weatherman, he gets so defensive.
Right.
What'd you say?
Yeah, someone's just like, oh, I heard you're going to be a weatherman now. And he'll be like, what? Why did you say it like that?
Oh, why are you saying it like that? I know what you mean. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Here we go. I know. I get it. I'm happy.
Oh yeah, him and Helen Hunt just constantly bicker.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Man, the sexual tension though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still clearly attracted to each other.
For sure. But they're also constantly fighting. And it's always his fault. He's a little bitch. Like, about everything. She'll say something, and he does that same thing with the weatherman for everything she says.
Oh my God. And then he's like, well, I hope you're happy with... He's like, I am happy with... And he, like, forgets his... Like, she's like, Melissa.
I knew her name!
Okay?
Yo, I'm happy with Melissa, okay?
Oh my God.
You think I need therapy? I didn't say that. You think I need therapy?
Yeah, he is kind of crazy.
She's
cool and calm and level-headed and sexy.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
He sucks.
This is like peak Helen Hunt hockey.
She should get with like anyone else.
She should get with Dusty.
Yeah. But that
yeah,
brings us to the
first tornado.
First tornado.
And he thinks he's so badass. He's like, fasten your seatbelts. And then he just gets into a ditch and goes up on the banks. And then
drives really horribly.
And then he runs into the bridge.
Also, every time, like
and her truck is ruined. The tornado picks up the truck, and then she has to ride with him and his fiance
in the new truck.
Awkwardness and hilarity ensue.
Oh yeah, the tornado picks up the truck, the Joe's truck, fucks it up, so they take Dorothy 1, or as I call it, I Dorothy, because they
say I Dorothy.
They put the 1 over top of Dorothy, so it's Roman numerals. It looks like I Dorothy. I Dorothy. I Dorothy. But yeah, so they load Dorothy 1 into the new fancy truck that what's his name came down in, Bill.
Well, what makes no sense about Dorothy is I'm so baffled. Like it just needs to suck up the balls.
Right.
So when because they have like 3D fucking things don't work throughout the movie. The last one
Dorothy
one
4
does.
Is the
Dorothy 4 is the one that makes it, but like the first 3, it just falls over and
it's the whole truck gets sucked up.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, I mean, you just need the balls to suck up in the tornado. So why does it matter?
I don't understand how
I don't understand how this thing works.
Me either. Like, okay, so the first tornado sucked up the entire truck,
which had
Dorothy
the cylinder and all the balls in it.
So if it can suck up the entire truck, it can rip that canister open and let all those balls release. So like, or if they just didn't have 500 fucking switches to start Dorothy
another
one.
thing too. Yeah, that's like Tornado 3. Like they can't even like. This thing is so the design is so flawed.
It's because they have to get in and out of in front of a tornado and drop it within like seconds,
and then they have to unhook it and press all these like levers and buttons.
Yeah, hit 20 buttons followed by 50 levers. It just doesn't make sense when like the tornado can suck up the whole truck. Why don't you just?
I don't get it.
Get a bag of balls, it will rip it open.
Yeah, and then one of the tornadoes, she's like picking up the balls. Like, we could still do this. I'm like, leave the balls. The tornado will suck them up.
Right, I don't understand. Do you have to hit a button to activate them? Like, why don't you have that button like in your car?
I don't know.
Or like have a trailer.
I think they have to be activated. I think that's what it is. Because the last tornado, I think they hit something and like.
Yeah.
Right before they ditch, I think they are like lighting up and then they get, I don't know.
Yeah, they're lighting up as they go into the air.
It makes no sense.
I don't know. If they just had like a trailer behind the truck instead of an actual truck and then like had the buttons and stuff, make it only like 3 buttons and keep them inside the actual car itself, you could easily just go up there, unlatch the trailer, hit the button and run in like 2 seconds. Like they designed the most intricate thing, and then they like it's too dumb to learn how to use it.
Oh, and then we got to talk about the rival tornado hunters. So okay, yeah.
One of my favorite parts was during that first tornado is after she's she's like taking the shit out for a car that's upside down and destroyed, and she like turns to Bill and she's like, "You got insurance on that truck?"
He's like, liability
only. And she's like, liability only? It is a nice truck. And he's like, no, don't think about it. No. That's how he fucking sounds to me. He's the worst. But they end up using that truck to chase after another tornado.
It's a nice truck, and it gets ruined.
Yeah. But like as they are like picking up their pieces from the truck from the last tornado, someone else is like, another one's coming. And it's like, back to back.
What happened to that 3-minute warning? Jeez.
Right. And then I guess the second tornado is the sisters.
That's the sisters. But before that, we have to talk about, I guess they go, well, we got to talk about Bill Paxton. There's so many things to talk about. Bill Paxton is a tornado whisperer.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, well, he gets ran off the road by the rival tornado chasers.
Oh, we haven't talked about the rival thing.
Okay, and they don't care about the science. They're only in it for the money. So they're like all corporate.
Well, this crew,
I guess they used to work together, and then I don't know what happened.
This crew is like...
led by the guy from Princess Bride.
I've never seen that either.
Wow.
But this... the crew that we're following is like a bunch of old, dusty, beat up cars and vans and whatnot. And then this other crew starts running them off the road that are all like black SUVs.
A lot of minivans.
Yeah, 96, were SUVs really around?
I think minivans were big in 96, the 90s.
Yeah. I don't think SUVs.
That was the luxury vehicle in the 90s. It was a minivan.
Yeah, it was a bunch of black minivans that looked really cool.
But yeah, Bill Paxton's just like, he drives by him. He's like, he only cares about the science. He doesn't care about the science. He's only in it for the money.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys just said that you're struggling with money. I don't know. It might be kind of cool to have sponsors.
Yeah, and you like to do good science, you kind of need money. So you should probably like get the sponsors. It's not. He's not really like science or money.
He's too mainstream. I don't know. I mean, if the money gets you to ends meet and is betterment for science, and
right.
What's the problem? But
that's kind of how science works.
They hate each other. He's like kind of the villain of the movie. He's not in it a lot, but he's kind of the villain of the movie, and he stole their idea.
Yeah, he baited.
So they have spears. He has cubes.
Yeah,
and his name is like Dot.
Doc?
Dot, I think, is the name of his machine or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He just took the first 3 letters of Dorothy.
It's like that meme, like, hey, copy my homework, but don't copy the whole thing.
Just leave off a letter.
Oh my god! But then this is a hilarious part too. Yeah, Bill Paxton is overacting a lot. He's like, "What you think I was gonna find out, you son of a bitch?"
Well, they run him off the road and he pops a tire.
That's it. Yeah.
And then he goes to
oh my god! And then the bad guys,
they go to the
corporate
garage.
people. They're at the same garage for some reason.
I don't think they were even at this one. They went to a garage to get the tire fixed, and across the street from that garage was a press conference that had all the fancy boys at it. But the press conference was like in front of like some shitty gas station. Right. Like I was like, who has a press conference here?
It's so bizarre. And then, everything everything is a plot convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like, what did you think I was gonna find out, you son of a bitch? What were you gonna tell me? And then that's what gets him into it. He's like, all right. Then he's like, you have one day, and he like gives Helen Hunt an ultimatum. I'm gonna stick around for one day.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, the poor fiance's like, oh, when are we getting out of here?
We've been through 2 tornadoes already. Or just one, because then they take off.
Yeah, and then then he like picks up some soil.
Oh yes.
And so Helen Hunt and the fiance are talking. She's like, I don't blame you if you still love him. And Helen Hunt's just like, oh, bitch, this is awkward.
Right.
And then so he like picks up this dirt, and then he's like,
he's just feeling it.
He's like feeling it, and then he's like,
into the sky.
And then he's like, we gotta go that way. And then they even talk about it. They're like, he can feel the air.
They're like he's a human.
He's like he's a human barometer. Or something.
Yeah, human barometer.
So Bill Paxton,
he just can feel soil and know when tornadoes are.
Yes. Also too,
which means you don't need any of the other crew members out of your 15 crew members.
Too, Bill Paxton just somehow knows when the tornado is going to shift. He's like, look at that updraft, look at the angle. Yeah. It's gonna turn.
It's gonna fishtail and gyrate. He always has something, but every single tornado they end up getting to before the bad guys because he can tell when it shifts.
Yeah, and then the corporate guy, I don't even know his name, but the corporate guy, he's like, oh well, I enjoy your weather reports. What'd you say, you son of a bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you want to get Bill Paxton mad in this movie, just like
mention that he's a weatherman.
Bring up he's a weatherman.
Yeah, he freaks.
I feel like he's very ashamed of his profession.
Yeah, no, they like clearly make him like they right off the bat. They're like he hates his current life and he probably doesn't like his fiance at all.
No, he's not paying attention to her one bit.
No, he leaves her with Dusty and goes off with his current wife instead.
Yeah, he's just like, hang out with Dusty. He's not a sex pest. Go on. But then we get to the second tornado with the sisters, and we get then she's like in the backseat talking.
Yeah, she's on the puppy.
She's like, oh, he did not marry blah blah blah. He did not marry your penis.
She did not marry your penis. I mean, she did not only marry your penis.
Yeah. So, and then it's just like,
we got the sisters. Yeah, and they spin the car around,
and then Cal goes by.
Yes.
And then with the best part of the movie, she's like, I got a cow. We got cows.
Cow. Another cow.
I think that was the same one.
Cynthia, I gotta go. We got cows.
Oh my god. Oh, and I love after that tornado too. He like gets out and like he's like all over Helen Hunt. Like, oh my god, you see that? It was incredible. Oh hey, Cynthia.
Yeah, they're all like spinning around and hugging each other.
She's like horrified, like
just like crawling out of the car.
Like, she just had a traumatic experience. Right. That would change her life forever. And he's just like, oh baby, oh yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, and then somehow they I guess they go to the aunt's house, which I have problems with this. Wouldn't it make more sense?
The transition to that was so fucking weird.
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman's like, hey, we're near your aunt's house. You think of what I'm thinking? Food.
No, first he starts off by going, red meat. We need sustenance. I'm like, what the fuck?
And
then, it just starts going, food. food, and everyone just starts screaming food until we cut to the aunt's house.
Yeah, and it's weird that it's the aunt. It would make more sense for it to be the mom.
Right,
we saw the beginning of the movie, you know, she was with her mom and dad. The dad died. I don't know. It just seems like if it was the mom,
right? I don't understand.
She would understand her more, understand her experiences, understand her motivation more.
It's also
she can see where she's coming from a little bit more.
The movie introduces the mom in the first scene, and we never get to see the mom again.
Yeah, and then the aunt.
But then the aunt just shows up.
Shows up.
Yeah.
Which I like the aunt. Why don't you just make the aunt the mom?
Right, make the aunt the mom.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
And then.
But this movie doesn't make a lot of sense.
I do like the scene where they're talking about the grading scale of
Fazio,
whatever.
What is it?
Fugazi scale.
Fugazi scale.
And I like when she's like, it's such a funny part. Like the fiance is like, well, has there ever been an F5? And everyone just like stops eating and like just stares at her.
Yeah, it goes silent.
She's like, what would that be? And that one guy's like, this is actually a cool line. He's like, the finger of God. I was like, that's actually kind of a cool line. And then, also, too, I like how everyone's just like making her plate for her. They're like, here, have some of this, have mashed potatoes, have gravy.
And she's clearly one of those people who would put like 2 like peas on her plate and like slowly cut them up and eat them.
Yeah, she just looks at this like...
Yeah, she thinks it's so disgusting, which looks like great food.
Okay, if you're going to put me through 2 tornadoes, that's one thing. But if you're going to make me eat this, then... And then they're off to chase the other tornado. And this one's funny.
Yeah, in the middle of their meal, another tornado somewhere.
So now it's just Bill and...
And remember, only 3 minutes for tornado.
Right.
And
we got to
go. 1 and 2 sisters go for eating. Oh, boom, another one.
All right.
We got 3 minutes to get... I don't know, how many miles can you get in 3 minutes? Not many.
Yeah, and then it's like... this is the most hilarious scene of the movie. It's like like Bill, yeah. He tells the fiance to fuck off with Dusty, and she's in the car with Dusty, and they're in the car together. Oh yeah. Oh my god! And they just want to fuck so bad. He's putting on their headset, and like they almost have like a moment. Like yeah. In the house, they're like running in together, like running into each other. I mean, like you could cut the sexual tension with.
Yeah. Well, when he got out of the shower in the house, he just decided that he wasn't going to button his shirt up.
That was weird.
You know, he was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to sit down at this dinner table with an open shirt now and eat with everyone."
That was odd. But
she took a shower right after him too.
She did. But this one's funny because it's like, so the Dorothy thing like fucks up again.
I don't remember which one
this is the one where she's like picking up the ball. She's like, leave it, John.
Oh,
You're obsessed. You're obsessed. You've never seen a tornado go from this house into this house. And it keeps coming and coming and coming.
It comes straight for you.
And then he's like, oh, listen, I'm sorry your dad died. Get over it. It was a long time ago.
That's literally what it says. You keep living in the past, but you need to look at what's in front of you right now.
She's like, what? Me, Joe? Look at what you got. Me. And then it's like the fiance's, all this is on the radio.
Yeah.
And the fiance's just like, oh. I feel so fucking bad for this woman.
Yeah. It's funny because the movie kind of makes you hate her the whole time.
I don't think so. You think so?
Yeah, she's not fun like the rest of the people.
I don't know.
She's like stuck up. She buys lemonade.
I did feel bad about that lemonade scene because she buys the lemonade and then she puts it on the roof of the car.
It speeds off.
It speeds off, and nope, we never got any lemonade.
No, it's like this. It's a huge group of like adventurers, and then she's like this stick in the mud who's always about like her corporate business.
She's trying. She's really trying to make an effort, but
yeah.
She's in a whole new world, and her fucking fiance just could give 5 fucks about her.
As he like hands out
and
with
he's
his
so clueless.
Current wife right in front of her.
He is so clueless to like to any of this.
I mean, but yeah, that tornado was pretty iconic. It looked like they were about to get sucked up into it, and then it just disappeared all of a sudden.
Yeah, there's boats flying everywhere.
Yeah, boats are flying. This isn't the one where their car gets stuck on the wood, though.
Well, no, that's the last one. That's a good one.
That's the mile. This one's like a half mile. The tornadoes keep getting bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah, they keep getting. We go through
the first one is one tornado.
We go
the
through
second
the
one
Fs.
is sisters.
We go through the Fs. We go through I mean, we kind of do each twister is kind of a progression.
Yeah. Well, it's the opening scene is the F5.
That's an F5.
And then we go.
That tells you what's gonna come.
And then we go to the F.
I mean,
it was F2 because when they were that was the F1 the first scene. Because the sisters, I remember when they went to get food afterwards.
They're like, those are strong F2. Like,
yeah, so someone was like, that was F3 probably. And they're like, oh, solid F2.
Oh, that was weak.
It's just a solid F2.
But yeah, then they I guess they just go to get a hotel. Randomly.
Yeah, they're tired.
Do they do that often? I don't know what storm chasers do.
I assume that they have to stay in motels.
I guess.
They have a giant camper.
I was about to say, they have campers. Why don't they just... I don't know. But anyway, this is also a great scene because we have an F4 come and the people working in the behind the counter, they don't do anything until Helen Hunt says, "Get behind the counter!" And then they just...
Yeah, like there's cars flying through shit. Like the outdoor movie screen.
They're watching The Shining, which is really cool. I don't know if you noticed, but as the tornado rips the movie screen, it's when Jack Nicholson's like, "Here's Johnny."
Yeah, and he's hacking through the door.
Yeah, you can kind of see his face in the tornado. I thought that was really cool.
No, that was a great scene. It's like he's hacking the door as the
screen. So subtle, right?
Yeah, very subtle.
Oh my god! And then we have the cowardly guy, who they're running for cover.
Yeah,
and then he's just in his truck,
he's hiding under the seat of his truck. And this guy is part of the crew.
He's part of the crew,
so he's been around for the past 3 tornadoes that we've already seen them go through.
And but he's just like, I can't go any further.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna die here.
And they all drag him into the mechanic spot.
Yeah, and then the one guy's trying to grab the hose, but then the hubcap slices his head open.
Yeah, this is a great scene.
He's like, I got it, and then he's like, oh.
It might be my favorite.
I think the last tornado is my favorite.
Last tornado is most epic, but I do love this scene of them being in this thin metal mechanic garage, hiding down in the bay under where the cars get lifted up.
Yeah.
And just glass shattering and sparks, there's just tons of glass and sparks and metal and stuff that just flies at everyone constantly. It's exciting.
And so that tornado's over, which kills me is because I guess their cars are just unharmed, because in the next scene they just drive off.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, whatever.
Yeah,
but
we saw 500 cars flying around in that scene. But once again,
I'm pretty sure I would have to rewind it. I mean, I don't really care that much about it, but I'm pretty sure that camper gets destroyed in that scene, and then in the next scene, the camper is
really. I want to be surprised.
There's a lot of shots that don't line up. I've noticed in this movie.
Oh, the things that get sucked up in the air versus the things that don't.
But also just the shots, one shot will be cloudy, and then the next close up of them in the car is sun is shining behind them.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
a lot of stuff like
that is though, because I don't know much about fucking tornadoes but I know that tornadoes are caused when low pressure and high pressure clash.
Wow, look at you, weatherman.
So
what'd you say?
Yeah, like a super low pressure, super high pressure, or something like that. So I think random storms happening just in certain areas, I think might not be.
Okay, I'll give this movie.
Yeah, that's not the one that I would go after this movie for.
All right,
but I might be totally wrong as well.
But then so the fiance breaks up with Bill Paxton.
Oh yes, yeah. After they all almost die at the motel,
she's like, "I'm gonna."
They're like, another tornado.
She's like, "I'm gonna leave." He's like, "Good idea, yeah."
Go back to the motel.
Go back to the motel. I'll see you in the morning. And she's like, "No, I'm gonna leave." She's like, what?
No, not now.
Where's this coming from?
And then she's like, it's funny because when I started thinking about leaving you, I didn't feel anything. So what does that mean?
Yeah, and Bill Paxton kind of looks at her. He doesn't say anything, but he's like, okay, good point.
Yeah, he gives her just a good 5-second stare, and then is like, I gotta catch this tornado.
He's like, well, I gotta go save my ex-wife's
Well, current wife still. She
Yeah,
never signed all this.
They are still married. But then he's like, how are you gonna get back home? She's like, oh, I'll be all right. This bitch would get lost so quick.
I know my way home.
She would get lost so quick.
I like to imagine that she got sucked up in the final tornado.
She's like, finally, I got a nice rental car, and oh no!
Oh no, cows!
We got cows. I gotta go. Oh my god! Like the cow just runs into her car. Like the little cow things are like in the windshield. That was the post credits.
But yeah, like for it having this kind of like B story of the whole like love plot, it was a very anticlimactic like leaving breakup scene. You know, it was just like she was like,
did you have to have that character? I was thinking this. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
like, did you really need
come up with it?
I don't know. Like, did you really need that character?
Yeah, I don't know if. I guess they were like. I feel like they probably wrote the movie, brought it to the studio, and they were like, "Can you add in a love dynamic?" And then they added that in.
I guess I don't know
because like why not just start the movie off with them all being
all these movies and disaster movies especially, they all check the same boxes. They all have to have like that angle, like the love story, like strange lovers, strange relative,
right?
But yeah, and then she leaves the movie. He's like, all right, well, I guess I'll fuck Helen Hunt now. I guess I'll fuck my wife now.
Yeah, she leaves. It's anticlimactic. And you're more interested in this huge tornado that's coming.
Yeah, and then
off to go.
And then they save the aunt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She has like internal bleeding. She's like, it's just a scratch.
It was the same tornado that.
It's fine. Let me drive myself to the doctor.
Yeah, it was the same tornado that destroyed the motel. That like someone was like, hey, it's heading to this town where the aunt lives, so they all raced there.
And she was like, oh, as soon as the sirens rang, I didn't even make it downstairs.
Any time to notice. We're like, we get it.
Yeah, and then she's just like, you know how to.
She's covered in blood.
Then she's like, stop it. She tells Ellen, stop this thing. And then she looks at the little like spinny thing. She's like, Eureka, I got it.
Oh yeah,
the balls are too light, so we have to like add aluminum cans to them.
Put little helicopter blades on top of them.
And I was thinking like, well, they're giving all this other team shit for being corporate, but I don't know. They got a lot of
it was only Pepsi products.
It was only Pepsi products. Pepsi and Mountain Dew, which kills me. He's like, Philip Seymour Hoffman's like, okay, Joe, I don't know if you care, but like, there's an F5. You want to go after it. And then she's like, all right, grab as many aluminum cans as you can. We only have 3 minutes, guys. Get those aluminum cans together.
We know that the tornado's coming. Collect as many aluminum cans as you can.
And it's still dark when this happens, and they're still chasing this F5, and it's daylight the next day. And it seems like they've been working and driving for hours.
Yeah, I mean, they made like little tiny helicopter plane things out of these things for hundreds of balls out of aluminum cans. So that must have taken them hours at least to do.
So I will say the last 20 minutes of this movie is incredible. It's just so they stop giving a fuck. It's just shocky.
I do like to back up a little bit when they do save the aunt. And she's bitching about how she's like, doesn't want to go to the hospital. Yeah. She wants to just stay in her house.
Yeah.
And like, the house was behind her, like already like halfway collapsed. And then it collapses like all the way after that. And
she's like,
and of course they saved the dog before that event.
Oh, there's 2 dogs that get saved in this movie.
The aunt has a dog and the mom has the dog. Why the aunt and the mom and the dog aren't the same, I don't know.
Well, the dog would be dead.
The dog would
69.
be dead.
That put that dog at like 27 years old.
That's true. The dog would be dead. So the dog makes sense.
That'd be cool if it was the same dog and it's just pissing everywhere and it's blind. It's running over the walls.
And they're like, save my dog. It's like, I think it should die.
But yeah, the last 20 minutes is incredible.
Yes.
I mean, geez, I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's like a F5. Mile-long tornado.
Mile wide.
They say that multiple times on the radio. It's a mile long. I can't even see it. It's a mile long.
What? Is there such thing as tornadoes that big? That's so crazy.
I don't think so.
A mile wide?
A mile is pretty. That's a long time. That's pretty long.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, so then probably I don't know. We'll get into most ridiculous scene in a minute, but
Okay.
I mean, this is a nominee. I mean, they're trying. So they set Dorothy 3 down, and then the fucking
3.
then the big tree trunk it goes underneath their truck.
Yeah,
and then they're stuck, and then they're fucked. And then a big oil tanker
F5 is coming closer and closer.
Yeah, closer and closer. And this oil tanker is flying through the air, and it hits them at the right angle.
It like comes down on the ground and just bumps them enough to not destroy their car, but to pump them off the log.
And then it gets sucked up.
And then it gets sucked back up, but their car does not get sucked up at all.
That's the thing. Like this truck is more susceptible than this truck.
It's a 16-wheeler filled with gasoline.
And then it blows up. Like right in front of them, that was cool. And I on the radio, like, did you see that oil tanker? And then Bill Paxton's like, yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, we saw it.
And meanwhile, the corporate dude, they're like, because Bill Paxton, he's a whisperer. He's like, oh, you got to change the trajectory. It's heading right towards you. He's like, I don't believe you.
And he's like, no, it's switching. It's
But his buddy next to him, he's like, oh, he's like,
the guy driving.
He's like always complimenting them and stuff. He's like, man, they have a good work ethic.
They really know what they're talking about. They're smart.
And they're like, maybe we should listen to them. They never put us in harm's way. He's like, he turns off the radio. Like,
no, let's go.
And then this ladder fucking thing just stabs the fucking dude, and then gets sucked up.
Just right through the windshield, right into the driver. And the car just gets sucked up. You watch it fly around for like 6 seconds, and then it just hits the ground and explodes.
Yeah. Corporate pig. He got what he deserved.
Yeah. Everyone was sad about that in the movie, and I was like, but you all hated him.
Yeah. And then I guess they go through the crop field, and then wait a minute, the house.
Oh yeah.
There's a house that blows on the road, and he's like, I think we're going in. That part was awesome. And then that's when I was like, oh, I'm in love with this movie. This is so schlocky.
Yeah. It cuts through them like driving a car through all the different rooms of this house. At one point, it does look like they're traveling up the stairs in the car.
Yeah, but
the house is on its side there's no way you'd go up or down any stairs. The house is on its side.
It checks out.
It's like, was the house still flipping and spinning while they were going through?
I have no idea.
But yeah, they definitely drive a car through an entire house.
Oh my god!
Bathroom, kitchen, bedroom,
and then they
clean through it.
And then they get the bright idea, like, okay, we have to just strap on Dorothy on the truck and then just let it go up into the tornado.
Right. So yeah, they do like a suicide mission where they jump out.
They jump out last minute, and then all of a sudden it's like, beep, 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 beep. Oh my god, we're getting all these readings. Oh.
Right, and then these like little fucking what's that like little ball called from Harry Potter?
These snitches.
Yeah, a bunch of little snitches.
They do look like snitches.
Yeah,
I bet you J.K. Rowling probably saw Twister, and she's like, I got it.
The boy who lived.
Wait a minute. So witches like broomsticks. What if they were chasing something? Oh, wait a minute. That's it. Yeah, and then they're like all happy, and then the tornado like shifts towards them, and they gotta run.
Right. Tornadoes are always shifting.
This tornado, I would like to see a parody movie of this movie. And the tornado's just like got some sneakers on and is just chasing after them.
Well, that's what she made it seem like when she was like, "You've never seen it miss this house. Let's get this house and come straight for you." Like, I think that's what they were trying to do with all like the odd shifting. It's always shifting towards them.
And somehow the other corporate guy just doesn't know how to read. He doesn't know any of this.
Well, he can't touch the soil and
that's true.
Learn.
He wasn't given. Yeah. God didn't give him a gift.
Right. He has to use science. Other people can just fucking stick their dick in the dirt.
Yeah, so they're in a foot race with this tornado.
Yeah,
and then they go through the house with the sights. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me!
They're like dodging like tractor trailers.
Who lives here? Oh my god, it's awesome! It's so awesome.
It's like, how are they not being sucked up if all these giant fucking like tractor trailers are being like flung around them and they're just like perfectly on the ground?
Oh, it's amazing. And then they like,
for
some reason they decide to go into this shed. I don't know why. I guess he felt the soil and it told him to go there. and then they see a pipe, and out of his ass, he's just like, "Oh, these pipes must go down at least 30 feet. We might have a fighting chance." Luckily, they have these like little rubber band things that they can harness themselves.
Yeah, these like leather straps.
If they didn't have that, though, they would have been fucked.
I'm sure they would have figured something else out. They would have just kept running.
Yeah,
I think they could have laid flat on the ground and been fine. I think tornado didn't want them.
And yeah, they just they're like hanging on, and then they see the funnel.
Oh yeah, well, it rips the entire shed around them apart. But
and then
they're just hanging upside down.
Yeah, the debris, all the debris and the wind somehow just doesn't affect them. We were talking about this; they probably wouldn't be able to breathe.
Right, I think with like that much air being sucked upward, there wouldn't really be any like. I don't think you could physically breathe. Yeah,
and then they survive.
And then they just start making out.
Yeah, and then
in front of everyone.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, and then they're like, "Who's going to do the lab?" "No, I'm going to do the lab." "No, you're going to go in the field." "I'm going to do the lab." And they still arguing, and they're like, "Oh, I love you." And then they make out, and then everyone shows up, and they just watches them make out
while like looking at numbers on the computer, being like, "We did it, Dorothy 4."
Oh God, it's
numbers.
Oh my God, it's bullshit. It's just like random numbers that mean nothing.
Yeah, they never really explain what that will do.
No, this movie doesn't explain anything.
No, I don't. I would love to read like the first draft of this movie.
You know who wrote this?
Whom?
Michael Crichton, who did Jurassic Park.
That makes sense because they had Jurassic Park music throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, it did kind of have that like.
Yeah, that same like whimsical like adventure. Yeah.
Yeah, the movie ends and
pretty abruptly. It's like they finally get Dorothy to work, and they're like, "Bye."
And then two people are playing rock paper scissors. As the credits roll and the camera pans up.
Yeah, it's like they were like, "Yeah, just cheer and celebrate." Or
yeah,
whatever.
What was that direction on set that day? Like, we're almost done with this fucking movie. Just do something. I don't know. I'm tired.
There's probably some inside joke.
Yeah, Michael Crichton. He wrote this. And part of trivia was this was at the time the most expensive. Like they paid him a record $2 million for this script.
Damn!
Like this was a hot script in the 90s.
That's crazy to me.
I think it's because Michael Crichton wrote it, and like Jurassic Park was like a phenomenon.
Sure.
And
but this is no Jurassic Park.
No, it's not.
like
put it this way.
This script is bad.
Put it this way: Jurassic Park has cloned dinosaurs, and somehow the science makes sense.
Yeah, compared to this, which is real world stuff that makes no sense.
All right, I actually have. I got some reviews I'm going to read to you. This is the funniest review I've read.
Okay,
and it was 100. He gave this a perfect score.
Okay.
And it was Mick Lassay from the San Francisco Chronicle. Quote, "It's hard to dislike a picture with flying cows and oil trucks," end quote.
What?
It's hard to dislike a picture with flying cows and oil trucks. 100.
Wow.
100.
100. That's all it takes for him.
Man, the movies have sucked this year. Just hasn't been any. What the?
Man,
okay,
I don't know why everyone likes Citizen Kane.
It's got a cow, but does it have a? Oh my God! Shit. Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times gave it a 2.5 out of 4. You want loud, dumb, skillful, escapist entertainment? Twister works. You want to think twice about seeing it. Totally agree with this review.
Yeah, that's a great review.
This is the quintessential turn your brain off.
Yeah, don't care about it.
And just enjoy this movie.
I mean, laugh about how dumb that shit is, but it's also just fucking fun.
It is a lot of fun, but yeah, I mean, nothing makes sense. I mean, we just nitpicked the hell out of this movie. But
no, it's like, that's why I can't believe that the script took that much. I will say that like the CGI was pretty good.
For the time, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, remember that part with the satellite? That was rough.
Yeah, the opening scene with the satellite looks awful. The space stuff looked awful.
What the hell was that?
On the ground, like the actual tornadoes and the cows flying around and shit being ripped out, like all of that looks pretty good.
Yeah. a little dated, but I mean,
not that much though for it being
for the time
years ago.
For the time, this was unreal.
Yeah,
and I mean, a lot of the reviews I read was just like, I mean, they said the script kind of sucks and the characters and the dialogue suck, but like the effects, like everybody was universal like praise.
Yeah,
and, like the effects. The
script and the dialogue is awful. The actors are mostly really good. I think Bill is fucking awful.
He's
so flat.
He kind of hams it. I think he hams it up. I love it.
You think he hams it up?
I like Bill.
I just want to like. I wish we had like a recording of it to play right now because I feel like
Bill had some.
He has two emotions. He has really upset and angry, and he has like monotone.
Well, that's why I love him.
I don't know. Helen Hunt, fantastic in this. What's his name? Dusty.
Phil Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah,
he actually like had a lot of like energy and like I mean he took a nothing part and I think kind of elevated it.
Yeah, he did great with this part.
I got one more review to read.
Okay.
Time Magazine. Richard Schickel. When I totally agree with this review too. This is a mixed review. When action is never shown to have deadly or pitiable consequences, it tends toward abstraction. Pretty soon, you're not tornado watching. You're special effects watching. I mean, like, there's no, like,
especially when you have 20 people in your crew and only 2 matter. You can kill off some of your crew members.
But also, they're invincible. They have plot armor. I mean, like they go through twist sisters and nothing happens. They're unscathed.
But if you like, I feel like I could easily rewrite the script to be like, okay, instead of that sister scene happening to the 2 of them, have it happen to someone else and have them actually go into the water and like they can only save one person and another person die. You know, like if you had a couple people die from the tornadoes while this was happening, it would be a lot better. I think you don't need the 20 characters that you don't know their names or what they do or why they're there.
If you're gonna have so many characters,
right, kill them off.
Kill them off in cool ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only had 2 deaths during the whole movie?
Yeah, the corporate dude, the corporate dude and the guy next to him, and then the dad.
So 3, I guess, but like 2 scenes.
And no dogs. No dogs.
No dogs died in this
movie.
You
know what? Kill a dog.
Yeah, kill a dog.
Kill a dog.
Make me feel something about these tornadoes, because now I think
kill a dog, everyone's going to be like, okay, this tornado's not fucking around.
Now if I'm ever find myself in Tornado Alley, I'm going to pull Bill and get naked, drink a bunch of Jack Daniels, and say, I think the tornado wants a drink, and throw my bottle up into it,
do you remember that,
and it will never come down.
Do you remember that story?
The tornado sucks it up.
That was actually a funny story they told at the dinner table. Funny. He's like, hey, here, have a drink. That's actually kind of cool. I want the prequel where like Bill Paxton's like a wild child frat guy getting drunk, chasing tornadoes.
Yeah. I don't know if I want anything for this movie to change because it is so bizarre and weird, and I like how everything is, but God, I can't believe that people spent that much money on this script. I would have been like, yeah, I'll give you fucking $50 for it unless you want to actually punch it up.
It's because Michael Crichton, which is crazy because Michael Crichton, I feel like he does a good job of balancing, like, you know, like blockbuster entertainment with like grounded real world science. Yeah. And this movie is just absurd. And I don't know if the script had like a little bit more like science to it and it got changed in production. Maybe. I don't know.
It kind of seems like this was
Jurassic Park is like, I mean, it's you know, it's, you can't clone dinosaurs, but it's like the way they explain it, you're like, oh shit, this is like,
yeah, you're cool. Like, I could see
like this is kind of,
it works enough for me.
This is somewhat kind of grounded and believable. I could buy it.
I think what happened was that I think that the script for this movie ended up, I think if they would have kept in all the science and the facts and the transitions and stuff, it would have been like a 4-hour movie. So they cut it out. Oof. Because this movie goes from like, holy shit, we just escaped with our lives to like, another tornado's coming, let's go now. Like in the entire movie, there's never a point of like downtime without another tornado.
I feel like nobody really takes anything serious.
Oh no, yeah. Everyone jokes around. They're like, ha ha ha.
Fasten your seatbelts. We're going in.
Yeah. We're just gonna crash into a house.
Do you know they're making a reboot of this?
Why?
It was announced last year.
Don't.
And
That's stupid.
The guy who directed Tron Legacy is directing it.
I don't even know what Tron Legacy is.
It's a sequel to Tron.
Oh, why are we ready? Stop remaking fucking movies, people. Come up with your own ideas, you fucking assholes. Twister's a perfect movie. It does not need to be remade.
I wonder how they would approach it. Would they do the same like plot device where it's like we need to have the cylinder and the spheres go up and take readings?
I'm sure they'd like update it enough to make it be like a little different, but it will end up just being a whole different movie about Twisters, and it's gonna suck because they're gonna try to take it so seriously. It's gonna be bad. Stop remaking movies.
I think Twister.
When's the last time a remake was good?
That's there's a handful of remakes that were good. The Thing remake was good. The Blob remake was good. Fly remake was good. There's like 3 remakes that are good.
I haven't seen any of those.
But I'm gonna say no.
It's annoying. Like, if you're gonna remake something from like the 30s or 40s, where like it's old enough that like people aren't watching it anymore because it's so old.
Yeah.
That you can like revamp it and bring it into modern day. But this is from 96. Let it be. You know? What, are they gonna remake Jingle All the Way next?
Okay, I would love that.
No, just fucking let me watch Jingle All the Way again.
Nah, have the kid be grown up and have like Arnold Schwarzenegger be like a grandpa. When I was a kid, I had to be We are gonna do something with Jingle All the Way.
I thought we already did.
We haven't. This Christmas, we're gonna do something. I'm thinking either
I watch it every Christmas.
Either like just a regular episode or a commentary. I want to do something with Jingle All the Way.
It's such a good movie.
Did you know what they used? A recording of a camel's moan was slowed down and used as the sound of the tornado.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the sound of the cows mooing. I was like, why didn't they just use a fucking cow? Wait,
a
really?
camel's moan was the sound of a tornado.
That's so interesting. Because it's a good sound for a tornado. Maybe I think a camel, when it moans, it pushes out like a lot of air more than sound. So maybe it sounds like wispy.
Wouldn't it have been cool if we got like instead of like we got cows, we got camels?
We got camels?
If they did like an Egyptian version of this Twister, it'd just be like Sandstorm, the movie, and it'd be like, I don't want to be racist and say a racist voice, but we got camels.
Just keep remaking it for different parts of the room.
Right.
Oh no, we got kangaroos down under.
Yeah, Australia, like their version of Twister has a kangaroo.
But everything else is exactly.
Why is America cows? We couldn't have a cooler animal.
I don't know. I guess India would be cows too.
Yeah, or elephants. Or elephants are big in India, right?
They don't kill cows in India. They like worship them.
And just to think, you're in India, and the thing you worship the most is just getting sucked away like that. That would be frightening.
Scary.
That would be very frightening. Did you know this? First movie to be released on DVD.
No shit.
This is the very first DVD.
No way.
That's amazing to me.
I always thought it was like Spider-Man. But that was the first DVD I ever got. I guess I was late to the DVD game.
Tom Hanks, original choice for the Bill Paxton role.
Yeah, I can see why you said no to it.
Well, it's funny. Hanks read lines with the cast and even chose the character's wardrobe, which stayed in the final film, but dropped out of pre-production and said, "It wasn't what I was trying to do with my career at the time. It called for an eccentric man with a southern flair, and that wasn't me." So basically, Bill Paxton and Tom Hanks do Apollo 13 together. And Tom Hanks is like, "Hey, I got the script for Twister. I think you'd be good for the part."
And that's how you got it?
And that's how he got it.
That's crazy. Tom
Hanks also, I thought this was interesting. Laura Dern was in talks for the Joe character, Helen Hunt role.
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
Helen Hunt, or Laura Dern, she was in Jurassic Park, actually.
Oh, that she was
Dr. Sadler.
Gotcha.
And she's been in some David Lynch stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a great actress. Yeah, she was going to be the hell. I love Laura Dern.
Yeah, no, I
don't know. I feel like
I think
Helen Hunt was perfect because she had that like tomboyish like quality to her, and she was, I don't know.
She was real chill.
She just had like an attitude that was, she was sexy in this movie.
Yeah,
this is peak Helen Hunt hotness.
Yeah. It's weird to me that Tom Hanks, who I think is a very good actor, would choose him to do the role because he's such a bad actor.
I think
I gotta see more movies with this guy because does he act the same in every movie?
God, Bill Paxton has like been in a ton of stuff,
and he just acts like the same.
He's a goober.
Monotone.
He's a goober in a lot of movies. He's kind of like the kind of douchebag guy.
Yeah,
in movies.
Yeah,
Aliens.
For bad acting.
He's a douchebag in Aliens. He's a douchebag in Predator 2. True Lies. He's a douche. He's the bad guy in Vertical Limit.
Okay, so he's made a douche because no one likes him because he has
everyone
no
loves
skill
Bill
at acting.
Paxton. I like Bill Paxton.
I'm gonna watch a bunch more of his movies so I can be more informed.
Yeah, this is gonna be a Bill
Paxton. If he was just bad in this movie, or he made a choice in this movie, or if that's just how he acts. If so, then it's bad.
This is gonna be a Bill Paxton pod for now on.
Whoa, okay.
The guy from Happy Gilmore, Christopher McDonald, Shooter McGavin, he was gonna be the corporate douchebag, Jonas. But he, I guess, chose Happy Gilmore instead. I think it worked out, but well for everybody. Happy Gilmore, it's an iconic role.
Yeah, I don't remember that movie too much. I can't watch Adam Sandler movies anymore. I hit puberty and they're not funny anymore.
96 Adam Sandler movies were all the rage.
They were.
Yes.
But yes, they're not anymore.
Kurt Russell and Michael Keaton were also considered for the Bill role. Nah, I can't see it. I don't know.
Whom?
Oh yeah, I forget you don't know any movie stars.
I'm not good at this podcast.
Yeah, moving on. Okay, you're gonna like this one. Okay, so Phil, there's a scene where Phil Seymour Hoffman is sitting down in his chair, and in the original cut of the movie, I think that was in theaters, but it's like a split second you miss it. His like balls hanging out of his shorts, and they like edited it out for like VHS and DVD
because they didn't catch it. He did that shit on purpose too. It was just like, check this out. I'm gonna see if I can get my balls on the screen.
This was the second highest grossing movie of '96. Independence Day was number 1.
Wow.
Yes.
So I guess disaster movies.
This is what brought disaster movies back.
I mean, what else came out in '96 though? Hook.
That actually not sure. Look that up for me. Okay. Categories. What do you think is the best scene of the movie?
The best scene of the movie?
There's a lot to choose from.
I know, gosh. I'm trying to think of like what, if it's like actually like what I view as the best scene or just like my favorite dumb fucking scene.
I feel like most iconic is probably the cows.
Yeah, the cows.
The cow going by.
The cow
that's the first thing I think of when I think of Twister.
Yeah, and they're like, I do love the visual of those two twisters, the sister twisters.
Sister twisters.
Spinning around each other. But my favorite scene is probably gonna have to be when Dusty's telling her about the suck zone. I think the beginning of this movie just starts you off in such a fun place of just being like, it's chaos.
Not the very beginning of the movie.
No, I guess not
the very beginning of the movie is absolutely tragic. And
horrific. No, but like when he's reading up, you're like, wait, he's bringing his fiance to his ex-wife, and he leaves his fiance with this guy who's telling about suck holes or whatever.
I think the best scene in the movie, this is kind of cheating, the last 20 minutes, specifically when they go through the house. That's just amazing.
Yeah, going through the house. I love it. It's a great scene.
This is when the movie is just officially complete schlock.
They went all the way at that point.
All right, what's the worst scene of the movie?
Worst scene in the movie. The worst scene in the movie is when he's when wannabe Sally Field is breaking up with him because it's just like no stakes and no emotions. She's just like, I thought about it and I didn't feel anything. And he stares at her for 3 seconds and leaves. And it's like, why was she here ever?
Yeah.
If it's not going to
There really is no conflict. Even the audience is like, you know what? That makes sense. And that this should happen.
Yeah.
Worst scene of the movie. I don't know. When they rescue the ant, I just don't care. I don't care about the ant.
You don't care about the ant?
She's a fun-loving aunt. I don't know.
She seems nice.
I guess they needed that scene.
She cooked them so many foods.
I guess you needed that one last like final motivation thing to get Helen Hunt to
I like
beat that tornado.
See that was. I feel like that scene was the scene that had the most stakes in the entire movie to me. Because the tornado actually had someone.
I know the worst scene of the movie. Scratch what I just said. How about when they're like driving down, chasing the tornado, and they're all singing.
Oh yeah, and like the first tornado.
Yeah,
and they're
blasting their music and they're all singing, acting stupid. Yeah, that's cringe.
Yeah,
that was cringy.
It almost looked like, well, actually, I think I'm the movie Casper, so I don't think they ripped off Casper. But I would like to say Space Jam came out this year also.
It did,
and From Dusk to Dawn.
Ooh, good one.
And Jack. I mean,
that's not the one where Robin Williams is old, but he's like,
I think
he looks old, but he's really a kid.
Yes.
Oh God.
It's like the rip off of Big.
Wait, so you've seen Jack, but you haven't seen all these other good movies.
Mars Attacks.
That's a great one.
Wow. Oh wait, Scream came out in 96.
Oh, how we're forgetting Scream.
How did these
96 was a classic. Trainspotting came out.
Matilda? Trainspotting?
Trainspotting came out.
Okay, so many better movies than fucking Independence Day and I've never seen Independence Day. And I do like Twister.
Oh, you would love Independence Day.
If it's anything like Twister.
It is. It's
okay.
It's like yes.
The Cable Guy?
Oh my God.
Okay, now I'm just reading movies.
Cable Guy's good too. Best quote. I think I know your answer already.
Yeah.
The suck zone.
They call it the suck zone.
God, he's so creepy. He's like, well, that's not the scientific term, but the suck zone. He like gets really close to her ear.
I did take a screenshot before I came over of two of my favorite lines from the movie. Here's one. It was Joe talking about the like bad guy character in it when he's
Jonas?
on TV. Yeah. While he's on TV and he's like talking up himself and stuff, and she goes, "He really is in love with himself. I thought it was just a summer thing." I think that's so funny.
Well, explain that to me.
Like she thought it was a summer thing, like a summer fling, like just like a little hookup thing, that's like good. With himself. But she's like, oh, she really is in love with himself. And then I have you've never seen it miss this house and miss that house and come after you.
God, there's so many great quotes. This is so honestly, this might be the hardest question I've ever had to answer on this podcast.
I was looking through the quotes of this movie before I came over, and there's pages of so many good quotes. And they're good in a bad way because the script is awful.
Okay. So yours is you've never seen this one.
This house.
I think for variety's sake, I think I'm going to be like, oh, he doesn't care about the science. He's only in it for the money.
That's a great one. Just like, what?
Also, honorable mention, I think we're going in.
Or, of course, Julia, I gotta go. We got cows.
Oh, God, so good. God, it's a quotable movie.
Basically, anything the wife says, I fucking love.
Best unintentional comedic moment. I'll go first. This is easy. Okay. When the people at the counter are just standing there as the tornado is sucking everything around them. And then Helen Hunt's like, you guys get under the... You need to leave. You guys need to leave. Go find shelter. Yeah. And then they're just like, oh, okay.
And they like run out, freaking out all of a sudden.
We were just waiting for you to say something.
I don't know. I think my funniest moment is probably, or unintentionally funny, is when that huge giant 18-wheeler comes down and just nudges them off the wood and flies back up into the sky, and they don't go anywhere.
That
it's
is
like
so ridiculous.
It made me laugh so hard because I was like, okay, they clearly don't care about the physics anymore.
Oh God.
If they ever did.
That last 20 minutes, I think they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah. God.
Best performance. Do we give it to Philip Seymour Hoffman?
I think I give it to Joe or Helen Hunt. I really like Helen Hunt in this. She seems like a really believable character who's like kind of like a tomboy, doesn't really let things get to her, stands up for herself, like doesn't back down to people. That's why she gets in fights with Bill the whole time because he's a little pussy bitch who fucking anytime you say the word weatherman, he freaks out. He's triggered by everything.
I'd probably have to give it to Helen Hunt. Honorable mention, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, he's a close second because he brought a lot of.
Yeah, it was kind of a nothing role, and he brought a lot of energy to it, and that's why he was so great.
Right. It was. I mean, the roles are like Bill, Joe, and the fiance are like the three main roles, and then they have 7 or 10 other people part of your crew that you don't care about any of them except for Dusty, because he actually made his role into
and this
something.
Is pre-Boogie Nights. This is like before he was like anybody.
Really?
Yeah. I think this is like his
breakout.
This probably
got him.
Paul Thomas Anderson was like, he saw Twister. He's like, that guy. I want him to be a porn star in Boogie Nights.
It makes sense. He's kind of like sleazy and goofy.
He's gonna show us the suck zone. Boogie Nights.
He just saw that scene of him whispering "suck zone" in her ear.
That's it. That's the guy. Call the studio. That's my guy. Okay. Well, I know the worst performance for you.
Yeah, Bill.
I know you hate Bill.
He was awful. So monotone, no emotions. When it was like he was watching someone try to act the whole time.
I don't know. I believed him as a tornado whisperer. When he picked up that mound of dirt, I believed him.
And stared into the sky. Maybe he's a fine actor when he doesn't speak, but there's something about how he speaks that it sounds like he's like reading the words for the first time.
I guess I respect your opinion. I'm gonna go with the guy. I don't know the guy. He's from He's in Lost.
Oh, the guy who hid in the truck.
Just like such a nothing character. It's like each of these like
hardly did anything.
I mean, that's the thing. All these characters like they have a little like quirk, but not enough to really make an impression. Except Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I think that's like director stuff.
Oh, well, I think it's script too.
I think a shitload of stuff was. I think all those other characters had tons of
cut some characters or kill some off.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just I don't know. He didn't really do much, and he's just in a truck.
Yeah, crying about the tornado when he's been on a tornado chasing team for years.
I'm gonna go with that guy.
Makes sense.
Okay, we've come to the.
He's the worst character. I want to say worst.
We've come to the end of the pod. Give me your score out of 5 and give me your final thoughts.
Oh shit. Okay. I give this movie an F4 point.
Oh my god, I love this. That's good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, we've been making fun of this movie like throughout the whole podcast, but it's a movie that talking about it makes me want to go home and watch it again right now. It feels like you're going on like a shitty Disneyland ride where everything's fake and dumb and nothing makes sense, but it's fun and it's nonstop. And you have the classic, like, poor people versus the corporate dudes. Like, I don't know. It has
that's
everything.
So ham-fisted.
They clearly like wrote a movie and then just pushed in different genres into this movie. I don't know. Like, it's a hodgepodge of chaos, and it came out beautifully.
This is tough because on one hand, do I just go objective? Because objectively, this is not a good movie. But like,
I did not go objective.
Or do I go with my heart and like, okay, like dumb movie, but I love it and I have a lot of nostalgia for it and it is a lot of fun.
Right.
I think I'm going to be a bitch and split the middle and go F3 out of F5.
Okay.
Because I mean, this movie we picked apart all episode.
Right.
And nothing makes sense. probably the most bizarre love triangle I've seen in a movie ever.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like that whole subplot with the fiance is. I feel so bad for her.
The way it gets resolved is so lackluster.
It's so bizarre. But I don't know. This movie it's just a lot of fun. And
yeah, if I was like a critical review on it, I don't even want to give a critical review on it because at the end of the day, what is the movie about? It's about having fun.
It definitely delivers on what it sets out to do.
It's not a movie that you don't finish the movie and talk to your friends about it, being like, and what did you think about when? Oh, another favorite line I just remembered.
Okay.
When Melissa,
yeah.
When she's talking to Bill and she's like, when you told me you chased tornadoes, I thought that was just metaphorical. I was like, what? The lines are awful. The acting's generally good.
Actually, the acting's not bad. I know you don't like Bill. I love Bill.
I think a lot of maybe
Paxton.
Oh, he's dead?
He is dead.
Tornado?
Don't you feel like a dick?
F5?
F5 killed him.
Maybe he's not the worst actor, and maybe it's just a really bad script and dialogue, but it's fun.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's hard to defend the script, but I mean, God, it's so fun. It's
nonstop.
Is it a good?
That's what I love.
Do you think it's a good bad movie? Would you put it in that category? I don't know if it's. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like an incompetent movie, but it's got. But it's so stupid, but it's so fun.
Yeah, I feel like if the like graphics and the acting were a lot worse, it would be a good bad movie. But because the acting is generally good, and because the graphics look pretty fucking. Besides the space station,
Oh God, that was probably like a post. Like, oh, we need a shot of. Well, give me your floppy disk or whatever.
And I mean, when I went to Universal Studios and stood in and watched that shit. I think they were doing mostly practical effects because that tornado and wind and stuff that I dealt with, the roof would collapse on your head eventually. This Hollywood ride. It's cool.
It's a fun movie. I love disaster movies. I'm a sucker for them.
I need to watch more.
You should. I mean, they're bad, but man, that's probably my favorite genre.
Really?
Other than horror.
Okay.
I think
they're almost
like just to sit down and watch something stupid.
Yeah.
You cannot go wrong with a disaster movie. You really can't.
Yeah.
So okay, this was a ton of fun. Everybody listen to How Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Jeff is a co-host.
We just hit 100 episodes.
Yeah, with some other girl named Molly.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. What's that bitch's name?
I think it's Bali. Like
Bollywood. Yeah.
Yeah, she's from Bollywood.
Yeah, but listen to them. This is fun. We're going to do something later. We got Nightmare on Elm Street coming up in October, and then we're going to do something with Jingle All the Way. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, this is fun. Thanks for listening.
This is fun.
This is fun.
Hey guys, this is fun, by the way. So 5 stars. It's fun. Okay.
All right. Stay out of the suck zone, guys. Good night.
Toodles.